In this video, we'll use dimensional analysis for unit conversions involving ratios. So in this example, we're supposed to convert 800 feet per second to miles per hour, and then we're supposed to round that to the nearest tenth. So the first thing to do is gather the conversions that we're going to need. We want to switch hours to seconds. And we know that 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. And we also know that 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. So we can use those two conversions to go from hours to seconds. And then we also need to switch our units of length from miles to feet. And that conversion is 1 mile equal to 5,280 feet. And now we see why the rest of the world has switched to the metric system. Okay, so we have 800 feet that we're starting out with per second. So I'm going to write that as over 1 second. Right? This is a ratio, so I can write a ratio as a fraction. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start multiplying by ratios from my unit conversions to switch from feet to miles, and then to switch from seconds to hours. We have to do this carefully. Let's switch from feet to miles first. Because feet show up in the numerator here, to get rid of the units of feet, I need to put them in the denominator. So I'll use my unit conversion involving feet right here, switching to miles, and I'll put feet in the denominator. So 5,280 feet corresponds to 1 mile. And now we see what's going to happen is that the units of feet are going to cancel, and we'll be left with the units of miles, which is what we want in the numerator in the end. However, we still have these units of seconds in the denominator, and those are a problem. We need to switch to hours. So to get rid of seconds in the denominator, what we're going to do is put seconds in the numerator. Now the conversion that we have for seconds is that 60 seconds is equal to 1 minute. And what that's going to do for us is it's going to allow us to cancel the seconds in the denominator and the numerator. So now we have units of minutes in the denominator, but what we really want are hours. And so we're going to use another ratio to get rid of minutes and move to hours. Since minutes are already in the denominator, we're going to put minutes in the numerator and compare that to hours in the denominator. So we have 60 minutes corresponding to 1 hour. Now we'll see that the units of minutes cancel and we're left with hours in the denominator. So now our units are miles per hour. So what we're going to do is multiply straight across the top. That's 800 times 60. We also have this multiplied by 1, but that's not going to do anything. And so 800 times 1 times 60 in the numerator. And then in the denominator, we have 1 times 5,280 times 1 again times 1 again. And so that's what we have in the denominator. And now our units are in miles per hour like we wanted. And so to finish up, all we need to do is compute what we have here. So this is going to be 880,000 divided by 5,280 miles per hour. And we're told to round to the nearest tenth. So let's write what this is as a decimal. We get 545.4545 and so on. But we want to round to 1 decimal place right here. So we'll look at the next one. That's a 5. Anything 5 or above, we're going to round up. So we're going to get 545.5 miles per hour. Let's do a self-check. Try this one on your own first and then come back and check your answer. Here we're supposed to convert 200 grams per liter to ounces per gallon, and we're supposed to round that to the nearest hundredth. And we're given the unit conversions that 1 gallon is equal to 3.79 liters and 1 ounce is equal to 28.35 gallons. So we're starting with 200 grams per liter. So our ratio looks like 200 grams over 1 liter. We need to switch the weight units to ounces. And so what we're going to do is multiply by the ratio that we get using the conversion 1 ounce is equal to 28.35 grams. Now we're going to put grams in the denominator so that they'll cancel with the grams in the numerator. So 1 ounce is going to go in the numerator. So now these units of grams are going to cancel each other out, and our weight unit will be in ounces like we want. But now we need to get liters and switch that to gallons. And so since liters are currently in the denominator, to get rid of liters, we're going to put liters in the numerator, 3.79, compare it to gallons, so that's 1 gallon. And so now we're going to be able to cancel those liter units, and we'll be left with gallon units in the denominator. So now what we can do is just clean it up. On the top we have 200 multiplied by 1 and then multiplied by 3.79. In the denominator we have 1 multiplied by 28.35 multiplied by 1 again, and then our units now are ounces per gallon. And now we can multiply this out. So we're going to get 758 in the numerator over 28.35, which is going to give us 26.7372 and so on. And we're supposed to round that to the nearest hundredth. And so I'm going to look at the hundredths place, move over to the next one. That is greater than or equal to 5, and so we'll round up. So we'll get 26.74 ounces per gallon.